Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new, and welcome back to another What's for Dinner video. This video is a collab with my friend Kayla from over at the Unmodern Millennial. I will have a link to her video and her channel in the description box below, so make sure y'all go over and check her out and let her know I sent you. And if you are over here from Kayla's channel, hello and welcome. I'm happy to have you, and I hope that you decide to stick around. So for the first meal, we had Cajun chicken Alfredo with broccoli. So the first thing I'm going to do is bake these 4 boneless, skinless chicken breasts in the oven at about 400 degrees for 25 minutes. And I seasoned them with Tony's and some garlic powder and onion powder. And my youngest son is picky. He will only eat angel hair pasta. So I'm going to cook him a little bit, and then I'm going to make rotini pasta for everybody else. And then I will just use this jar classic Alfredo sauce. So now that I've got the chicken in the oven, I just start both types of pasta. And I'm also going to start a package of crescent rolls. I just followed the package directions for those. And the frozen broccoli I'm going to put in my air fryer for a few minutes before I add it to the pasta. And I just sprayed that with a little bit of this canola oil. And once the pasta is done, I did put a little bit in the angel hair pasta, and then I'm just going to put the rest of that jar and then the whole other jar in the rotini pasta. And once the broccoli is done, I'm just going to add that straight to this, and then I will take out my daughter's plate before I add the chicken. And this is my son's angel hair pasta on the side. And then I had a little bit extra just in case he wanted more, and he did. He ended up eating both bowls of this, and I did add chicken to it once it was done. I'm just going to get it cut up and get it added to all of the pasta, and that is our dinner for the night. I just served it with the crescent rolls. Sometimes I also serve this with a salad. And that was dinner for that night. And on the next night, we had a very unhealthy baked chili cheese dogs. I saw this on Faith Food and Family's channel, and I had to have them. I did do mine a little bit different than hers. I will put a link to her video in the description box below. And these are our favorite hot dogs, these Nathan's Franks. So the first thing I do is just pop the hot dogs in the air fryer for a few minutes, and then I'm going to put all of the buns in a casserole dish and add the hot dogs. And then I'll add a little bit of mustard, some diced white onion, the chili, and some shredded cheese. And then I will just bake those at 400 for a few minutes until the cheese melts and the buns get a little bit crisp. And that is it. These were absolutely delicious. Probably my favorite meal of the week. And then we had Thanksgiving. We were not going to have a Thanksgiving dinner because our family cannot get together just like everybody else's at this time. but we did end up cooking a little bit. So we had a turkey, some green bean casserole, deviled eggs, potato salad, and some chicken and dressing that come from my mother's, and some cranberry sauce. I hope you all had a very good Thanksgiving as well. So on the next night, if you are not new here, you know that my absolute favorite meal in the world is hamburger stew. So that is what we had on this night. I just started some ground beef in the Instant Pot on the saute function, and when that got done, I just drained it, put it back in the pot, seasoned it with onion powder, garlic powder, and this Weber's gourmet burger seasoning, because I could not find McCormick's hamburger seasoning in any store in my area whatsoever. I even reached out to them on Instagram, and they replied with they are trying to fill the stores as quick as they can, which of course is completely understandable. So I have ordered some from Amazon at this point because I just have to have it. This was not the same. So now I'm just going to add all of my canned goods. This is a small can of tomato paste, 2 cans of diced tomatoes that are seasoned with basil and oregano, 1 can of beef broth, 2 cans of corn undrained, a can of carrots, a can of green beans, and this was my first time using these canned diced potatoes, but I had them, so I thought I would try it. They were not terrible, but I just would rather peel and dice potatoes myself than to use these, but they wasn't that bad. So then I added a couple of cans of water, and I just get everything mixed up really good. And I'm going to put the lid on and make sure that it's set to sealing. And then I'm going to cook it on high pressure for 20 minutes. And that is it. This is it when it gets done. That took a very long time to come to pressure and to release the pressure, which is understandable because I definitely went over the fill line, but it still did cook just fine. This is my go-to comfort food, so normally when anybody sees me eating this, they know that I'm going through something or just having a bad day, because this is always the first thing my mind goes to. So on the next night, we just ordered Applebees to go. I had the Bourbon Street chicken and shrimp with garlic mashed potatoes, and that also comes with onions and mushrooms. And then I had a side of wings, and no, I could not finish those. I only ate a couple of the wings, and I didn't finish the potatoes either, but I love the chicken and shrimp. I always finish that. And then on the last night, I was craving some beef stew. It is very cold here, and believe it or not, it snowed a little bit in Alabama. So of course it didn't stick, but it is really cold and it was rainy. So I always want something warm and comforting. So the first thing I'm going to do is get all of the beef tips cut up into smaller bite-sized pieces and get them put in the Instant Pot on the saute function with some olive oil. I'm going to season it with some garlic powder and onion powder. And I added a small diced onion. And now I'm just adding 2 tablespoons of flour to help thicken up the stew. And I'm just going to cook it for a couple of minutes to get the flour taste cooked out of it. And then I will start adding everything else. And I do add a little salt as well. So now I'm going to start adding the other ingredients. I just added the can of beef broth here so I can scrape the bottom and get all of the good flavor off of the bottom of the pot. And now I'm just going to add the 5 carrots that I peeled, washed, and diced. And now I'm adding 3 medium-sized russet potatoes that I have peeled and diced. Normally I do leave the peeling on, but I need to get a new vegetable scrubber, so I didn't want to do that this time. I went ahead and peeled them. And now I'm going to add 1 can of petite diced tomatoes. I know a lot of people don't add tomatoes to their beef stew, but I like the flavor in mine. And then I added 1 can of water. So now I'm just going to get everything mixed up really good. And I found a packet at the grocery store for beef stew. And I've never tried this before, but it had pretty simple ingredients. So I did go ahead and try it, and I liked it. It seemed to flavor it pretty good, so I will be buying it again. So I'm just going to add that and get everything stirred up really well. Then I'm going to get the lid put back on, make sure it's set to sealing, and I'm going to cook it on high pressure for 45 minutes. I thought about cooking it for an hour, but I changed my mind. So that's what you see me doing here. And it is done. I don't know if it gets any better than this on a cold, rainy night. So I'm just going to get my bowl fixed, and that will be my dinner. I don't eat mine with crackers or anything. That is it. That was our dinner for that night. And that's going to wrap up this What's for Dinner video. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, don't forget to go over and check out Kayla's channel and her What's for Dinner video. If you are over here from her channel, I hope you decide to stick around and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. And if you go over from my channel, make sure you let Kayla know that I sent you and show her some love. And I hope y'all have a great weekend. I'll see y'all in my next video.